Hurricane Kirk spins in the central Atlantic. A relatively calm week across most of the U.S., and your 7-day forecast for Hendricks County next on the Weather Farm. Good evening, Hendricks County. I'm your meteorologist, Christopher Hale, here at the Weather Farm with your local forecast for Hendricks County and the surrounding area. The top of the hour, we had a temperature that set at 51.5 degrees. Dew point, you're at 47. Winds are generally calm. They've been calm most of the day. This is going to allow temperatures to really fall again tonight with no cloud cover present. Temperatures are expected to fall to near 40 degrees across most of our area. If we took a look at the temperatures at the top of the hour, again, Crawfordsville, you've dropped already down to 50 degrees. Oh, there's a 49 just to your south and west. Those upper 40s are beginning to pop up here on the map. Crawfordsville, you dropped to 40 degrees last night. If we take a look here in Boone County, Zionsville, you're in the low 50s as well. You're at 54 over there. You dropped to 42 last night. Again, here in Brownsburg, we're sitting 52, 53 degrees. Across most of our area, temperatures will fall in those low to mid 40s overnight. So let's take a look at a recap of today. So today, here at the Weather Farm, we had a high temperature of 71 degrees, followed by after the morning low of 43 degrees. We have no precipitation today, and for the month, we recorded just a trace of precipitation with those last remaining remnants of Hurricane Helene, provided some sprinkles on Tuesday and early on Wednesday morning. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 7:44 a.m., while sunset tomorrow evening is at 7:24. And as we begin this new month of October, let's take a look at how our temperature changes. So during the month of October, on the first day, we have a high temperature at 79 to 72 degrees. That does fall to 59 by the end of the month. Our low temperatures drop from 51 down to 40 degrees by the end of the month. And for the month of October, we average about 3.22 inches of precipitation. And there it is, folks. It's our first average snowfall for a month. We average 1/10 of 1 inch of snowfall here for the month of October. Generally, that happens usually around the last week of October. If you remember the snowstorm of 1989, it dumped nearly 9 inches of snow here around Halloween that year. And for those of you, as you're thinking about your gardens and your flowers and how much longer you'll be able to enjoy those, just a reminder that our average date of our first freeze, and that means a temperature of 28 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, that typically occurs around October 26th. And there are hints in our longer range models that might come into play as we close out the month of October. So let's take a look at what's happening. Because if you think about it, our weather's been pretty calm around most of the day. So let's look at the upper air pattern. This is North America. Here's the United States and here's Indiana. You see most of the storm tracks, most of those low pressures, as they come out of the Gulf of Alaska, they're coming across the Canadian provinces, the prairies, and they're not really impacting the United States. Yes, we have that low pressure that we thought might develop into a hurricane come out of the Gulf this coming weekend. It's going to bring a lot of rain to parts of Florida. But for the most part, the weather across most of the United States is going to be very tranquil, very calm for the next 6 to 10 days. And in fact, if we look at the Climate Prediction Center, they've issued their 30-day outlook for the month of October. And again, we have an equal chance here in Indiana of having above or below normal temperatures during the 30 days. Precipitation is going to be like most of how September was. With the exception of Hurricane Helene and its remnants, we didn't see a lot of precipitation during the month of September. October is going to follow suit, and we have a greater than normal chance of seeing below average precipitation for the month. So as I mentioned, we looked at that upper air pattern, not a lot going on here in the United States. It's not surprising then that as we look at our radar, we're not seeing any precipitation across Indiana or the Great Lakes region for that matter. Most of it is staying up north into the provinces of Ontario and into Quebec. We do see a little bit across the Appalachians, but if we look at the future radar again, that's going to, as the daytime loses its heating and its instability in the atmosphere, we expect those few showers to kind of fall apart overnight as well. So let's take a look at our temperatures around our state at the top of the hour. As we mentioned here, temperatures at the top of the hour. Again, Indianapolis, you were holding on to 58, where most of your surrounding areas had cooled into the low to mid 50s by that point. And again, our dew points are extremely dry. We're moving away from those humid months of the summer, and even September, dew points are generally in the 40s. We look to our north and west, we see dew points are down in the 30s there. Again, a very dry air mass. We're under the influence of high pressure. That is what's going to allow those temperatures to drop. We kind of use the dew point as a gauge to where we think the overall nighttime low might occur, or what the temperature might be for this time of year. So again, 48 is a good bet for your low temperature for this evening. And if we look at our temperatures and we see how much have they changed over the last 24 hours, about this time yesterday evening, we saw that cold front move through our area. Again, temperatures are running anywhere from 3 degrees to as much as 10 degrees colder at this hour than they were just 24 hours ago. And again, with not much going on in the United States, there's not a lot of weather hazards to talk about. We do see over parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, we see a dense fog advisory. Parts of the Southwest into Arizona and California, we have high heat warnings for excessive heat. Again, Phoenix, you were above 100 degrees. We see those going up the interior of California as well for heat watch and heat warnings. Here across parts of Montana, we're currently watching the wildfires that are in place there. So there's a high wind warning there for winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour. And right here, this is our first sign that, again, the month has changed. We're now in October. Parts of western North Dakota are under a freeze warning tonight, where temperatures are expected to bottom out below that 28-degree threshold that we talked about earlier. Well, let's talk about the tropics. That seems to be our main topic. And right now we have Hurricane Kirk and we have Tropical Depression 13 that are our two main areas of focus right now. Again, we had thought that maybe there would be some development here in the Gulf. That's looking less and less likely, but there is still an outside chance that it will develop. But if we look here at the satellite image, we see that Hurricane Kirk has that well-defined eye as it moves across the central Atlantic. Its path is actually going to take it to a major hurricane, category 3 or higher. As it gets close to Bermuda, it's going to then start making that right-hand turn, and it's going to go out into the North Atlantic. And we can kind of see that here on one of our maps as we go forward. But if we go back to this map, we kind of see here, we see there it is. There's Hurricane Kirk as it's making its way. And look, it's a 960 millibar low, and it's going to make its way up and away from North America. And then right behind it is that Tropical Depression 13. This particular model wants to also have it follow the same path as Hurricane Kirk. So let's look at our temperatures coming back home here to central Indiana. Again, as I mentioned, lows tonight, 53 for Indianapolis, definitely lower 40s around the area. Lafayette, 49 for you. Lafayette, you'll warm to 74 tomorrow, as will most of Indiana, generally in those mid-70s across most of our area for our Thursday. Looking at our Friday morning lows, again, almost a carbon copy of what we're going to see tonight. Generally, upper 40s, mid-40s outline, 53 in Indianapolis. And again, to start off our weekend, Lafayette, you're at 55. Evansville, you're going to be at 81 as those warmer temperatures that we see to our south and west slowly make their way toward us. Even on Saturday, though, we're still expecting highs in the mid-70s, whereas out to our west, those warmer temperatures are going to be there. And if we look here at our at our 8 to 14 day outlook, we see again slightly above normal temperatures during this time period, and again below normal precipitation for this time period. So let's take a look at our 7-day forecast here for the weather farm. 76 tomorrow, 78 on Friday, 79 on Saturday, 81 on Sunday. Cold front comes through with maybe some clouds, 68 to start your Monday. Lows near 40. Hope you've enjoyed your time here at the weather farm. We hope to see you again real soon.